Well, of course, how you open the
live. Oh, sorry.
Yo, welcome in everybody. This is 5 Reasons Football. Myself here, Austin Robillard here with Manny Chang over there. My producers. Actually, you're live at the bank. What is it called now?
The BB&T Center.
BB&T. Wasn't it like Bank United or Bank Atlantic or something like that before?
Dude, let me tell you, my first time here about 10 years ago, I called the National Car Rental Center. That was back in the day.
Wow. Yeah, I think it's had a couple name changes, but okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, right now they're doing some type of renovations. There must be like an award show here or something coming up. But the Florida Panthers are on the road. They're in Carolina. So, but we still got to do all the away games from the official home of the Panthers. So.
Very, very cool. Check that out. Fifth Line 5R, right? That's the @ for 5 Reasons Panthers coverage. Best team in the NHL.
Best team in the NHL, man. Most points. Tomorrow we'll have another episode of In the Box with Alex. He'll recap you any updates and news and how it looks like for the Florida Panthers going forward. Which, if you have not yet jumped on board, then I mean, I don't know what else this hockey team can do to intrigue you.
I got a nice little hat and a mask already, so I'm ready to go, man. I'm on the Panthers group.
That's going on. Inter Miami season begins in a couple weeks. I will be there. I secured my tickets once again with La Barra Viva, with La Familia, with Vice City, so I'll be there losing my voice.
Hell yeah. Love to hear that. But today, a lot going on in the football world. We had two fantastic games in the Champions League. Not that I thought the Real Madrid-Liverpool game would be good, but I thought City would roll over Dortmund, but that wasn't really the case. I'm going to let you rant on and go on about your Real Madrid win here. 3-1 in Madrid against Liverpool. You guys went up 2-0 very early due to a couple defensive errors that have to do with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool come back, play a good 10 minutes to start the second half. They get the away goal, and then Vinicius follows it up with the third. So what are your overall thoughts on that game? I mean, Liverpool played terrible. Real Madrid played a lot better than them. It was a pretty good performance in Madrid. What do you take away from it?
I mean, in all honesty, what I take away is that I think Klopp and Liverpool got the whole tactics wrong, right in the beginning. I mean, listen, we all kind of knew that the only way that Real had any chance, right? Like, let's be completely honest here. You had two centermen once again, and Militao and Nacho, which we've seen their issues. I mean, the last time I joined your guys' show, we were talking about a loss once again because our two central defenders seem to want to just, run up the field with the ball and not really play defense. But today it just seemed like everything was in sync, in a way where, once again, Zinedine Zidane showed you his knowledge of becoming a manager once again in this game. And again, I feel like Klopp, he underestimated the outside runs, especially with Vinicius at the beginning. Those are already opening up, right? And obviously Vinicius is on the side of Arnold. So right then and there in the first 5-10 minutes, if I'm Klopp, I'm like, wait a minute, okay, I see that, Vinicius is getting back there on that angle for already, 3-4 times already. And it's been under 20 minutes. Let me just make sure I tell Arnold to, make sure to watch him a little bit. If anything, we'll go to the other side with Robertson, and we'll just exploit that because that's Lucas Vazquez. Let's be honest here. Lucas Vazquez is not the type of player anymore that can actually run a full sprint and actually beat two guys and score. Let's be honest here.
Let me say something about Trent and Vinicius.
Okay.
There was a discussion that Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher were having a couple of days ago on Sky Sports about who Gareth Southgate should pick for the England squad, and they were debating a lot about Trent and how when you think of a defensive formation and a team that needs to defend well in a game, especially where you don't have Van Dijk and you're starting Kabak and you're starting, guys against a good Real Madrid attack, especially now with Vinicius, a guy, like you said, who can come all the way through. He can run really fast. He dribbles really well, gets in behind. Trent loves to creep up. Trent loves to get forward, and he leaves a lot of space behind him when he does that. He is a liability, and he showed that today, big time.
No. But again, that's his game, though.
So, that's his game, and it's worked for him. I mean, listen, how many times have I seen Marcelo? All of a sudden, he's on the other side of the box, and I'm thinking, dude, what are you doing? They're gonna come attack on you on your freaking same side. But that's the way Liverpool has won, though, recently. And the game is developing. The game of football in general is developing. Wing backs have become those kinds of wing backs.
Have become the main asset in the offensive game, without question. Okay, I mean, listen, I think maybe it was Roberto Carlos, who kind of opened it up a little bit back in the 90s. And it's like, wow, like if you can get a guy like that at that position that could run and sprint and kick, oh, maybe that will flank your, that definitely flanks your defense to one side and then leaves spaces. But like I said, Liverpool's middle defenders were too slow. Too slow today. They reacted a half a second too late. Karim Benzema and those guys in the middle, Modric, Toni Kroos especially, who gave that pass to Vinicius on point. And to be all, and in all honesty, like that's a shot that maybe Vinicius would have missed, and he's missed those
a lot.
It's been 2-3 years where Vinicius has had opportunities like that, and the ball either never goes on target or he never possesses it. Today he showed up, and he finally had his breakout game. Because everybody wants to say, well, his breakout game was against Barcelona. Was it in 2020 last year when he finally scored? No. That ball was deflected off Piqué and off Ter Stegen and entered into the net. It was, to me, that's not a goal of a person goal per se, right? It went off a couple of, baba. But Vinicius today showed his ability to be able to strike at goal. And it's something that Madrid fans have been waiting for, because obviously you don't have a Hazard. You don't have a Bale, and Mbappe's not here yet. Oops, did I say that?
Whoa!
No. Come back a little bit. Benzema's been our only offensive, consistency.
Yeah.
For the last 2 seasons, and Vinicius shows up in a big way. Okay, mind you, he had a couple once again bad passes and whatnot. But when you get your opportunities, man, in the Champions League at this magnitude, at this level, you have to make sure you counter it and you make it count. And listen, Liverpool had one of the best 5-10 minutes I've ever seen them this season, because their season has been like this.
Yeah.
But I just felt like they got the tactics at the beginning wrong, and Klopp underestimated the wing speed of Vinicius. And even after it showed after 20 minutes, he listen, because Klopp has always been that guy, and I give him credit. Klopp, from coming from Borussia, has always been, you know what, I'm going to pressure high. I'm going to make sure I keep that middle, congested, so that the other teams can't break out. You know what I'm saying? And today it wasn't a factor with the forwards though, because it's not like Real Madrid had the BBC line of Bale, Benzema, and Ronaldo, which those 3 guys would always make sure that teams that pressured high up to midfield, the counters, were always beautiful to watch. But today was a midfield between Kroos, Modric, and Casemiro staying in the back. It was Kroos and Casemiro that basically, they controlled the whole game in the middle. And you saw, what's that Liverpool's player name? Keita or Keita? Yeah,
Naby Keita.
That man had no absolute idea what he was doing in midfield, in the midfield for Liverpool. They had no possession. And the only way that you knew that Liverpool could have probably had any opportunities was by Madrid turnovers. And the only Madrid turnover I saw was the one that Salah scored. So Madrid didn't hurt themselves, but I don't think Liverpool either helped themselves either. I thought Sané played a poor game. I thought Salah, those two guys.
You're right. Yeah, Mane, that was a poor performance from Mane. From the front 3, honestly. Other than the Salah goal, I mean, the goal, by the way, was very lucky for Salah. I mean, the ball's bouncing around at his feet. Modric makes the tackle. It falls to Salah. It's bouncing around on his feet. Courtois gets a hand to it, and then it hits the post. Everything was in Salah's favor there. It is what it is. But I want to go to the Naby Keita thing with Jurgen Klopp. I don't know where this crazy trust to start Naby Keita came from today, but I was just looking. The last time that Naby Keita went a full 90 for Liverpool was in a 1-0 loss to Fulham on March 7th. And before that, the last time he went a full 90 was December 19th of 2020. He's had 2 full 90s since the middle of December of last year. I don't know where that trust came from. Him getting subbed off, I mean, it was a very, very weird call. And I think Jurgen Klopp, you're right, had it fully wrong. Mane had a poor game. Every time Mane had the ball in the final third, he was just out of control, it seemed. Like he could not control himself. He was trying to get foul calls. He was trying to do – it was too much. They were trying to do too much, and it ultimately hurt them. And Trent, by the way, I don't want to keep on picking on Trent Alexander-Arnold, but, what is that headed clearance? What I he gave the ball. I mean, if you were playing for the other team, sure, that's a great pass. I mean, what an assist with your head. But I don't know if it's a defensive error or it's a bad-headed clearance or it's all of the above. But Trent has to be better, and especially if you want to think about this national team stage, you have guys on the right side, a la Wan-Bissaka. Where do you like? What do you want to do with Kyle Walker or Trippier? I mean, there's guys that now are competing with Alexander-Arnold for that right side. He's not been in form. I mean, Liverpool haven't been in form. Let's be honest, but just a poor performance from Liverpool. Not what I expected, especially with Varane getting Varane out, Ramos out. We knew Ramos would be out, but Varane was what? Yesterday they announced it, or this morning?
No, it was this morning. This morning he had a positive test. I'm like, what?
I have a question for you then. Actually, now that I think about it, when I look at the formation with Vasquez, Militao, Fernandes, and Mendy at the back, do you think that Zinedine Zidane actually was going to go with a 3 center back formation with Varane in there next to Militao and Nacho, like he has been in league play, or do you think he would have stayed with a 4 at the back, or what do you think he would have gone with? And if he would have gone to the 5 at the back, do you think actually having to be forced to move to 4 at the back favored them because they had such a really good midfield presence this game? I mean,
no. Listen, the way that Zinedine Zidane has always been with the players that are here, right? I mean, he's had the most ultimate trust with all of them. And with Nacho, listen, with Lucas Vasquez and Nacho, I can tell you one thing. If there's anybody missing from the back line, those are the first 2 reserves he always looks at and says, you know what, I'm plugging you in. Yeah. Whether it's a center back, whether it's the right wing on the final line, playing that 3-man in the back, it has never been his style, right? Like, let's be honest here. Unless it was a game where Real Madrid were down in the first leg, and then the second leg, obviously, you got to create that pressure. Like the last time I remember he kind of had a 3-line in the back was last year against Man City, in a game where we lost at home, and then we had to go to Man City in a game where we could have won, but of course Varane had the 2 blunders, right?
That was that game.
So in that particular game situation, that's when I've seen him tell Marcelo or whoever on the other side, I'm gonna push you guys forward, and then I'll see how the game goes on, where we're at, and then if we end up getting the lead, then I'll go back to a 4-man. But no, like to me, this to me speaks of it's very common to me to see this lineup. Mendy was not going to be moved, obviously, and obviously it's a first leg against Liverpool. You don't make drastic changes, especially during a season where I haven't seen much of it, changed in a first leg at home. Now you're going to Anfield with a 3-1 lead. What's the situation now with Ramos? What's the situation now with Varane? Obviously, Varane is a positive case. They'll probably have to wait 2 weeks or whatever the case is. And guess what? Real Madrid got to play Barcelona on Saturday. This is why another time, once again, you don't get tricky with more formations, player adjustments, because you're now moving into the stage of the season where it's crunch time. You don't have time anymore to, let me see if this works, right? And again, people didn't give Zidane credit, but this man won consecutive Champions Leagues, or was it 3? With Real Madrid. It was Carlos Ancelotti that won the first one, and it was Zidane that won the next 3 consecutively, right? 1, 2, 3, right after Barcelona won against Juventus. Yeah. So people seem to forget that this man knows tactics, man. This man can literally try to figure out what's your weakness, and if it doesn't work, fine.
With one of his weakest ever Real Madrid sides,
weakest Madrid sides in a game where Hazard hasn't even shown up all season.
He hasn't shown up since he arrived.
3 goals.
Yeah.
Benzema is 50 years old. I don't care what you tell me.
Yeah.
But when you don't have those, all-star players, and listen, I guess it is what it is, but though it just works, man. The Madrid way with Zinedine Zidane works. Okay, it just works. And once again, he proved a lot of people wrong. I thought Liverpool today was going to crush us. There's no reason for me not to think that, though. Like you've seen our latest results.
Yeah.
Champions League against top-notch teams on offense. We end up losing 2-0 in the first leg, and we make it a game in the second one, and then we end up losing to Ajax at home a couple years back, 4-1 or whatever the case was, right? But it just seems like the Zinedine Zidane way, the Zizou way with Real Madrid as manager, for him to figuring out these things out as the season goes on, it just works, man. And I'm sorry. With Barcelona out, We still have to see what PSG does, right? But I don't trust Paris Saint-Germain. I don't trust Bayern yet either, but Bayern are the defending champions. But Zizou has a couple of things up his sleeve, man, and it's going to be interesting what Klopp does in the second leg, though. I expect Liverpool to return at home. If they had fans, I'd be worried. But obviously, they don't have fans.
No, don't. Anfield is not. Anfield is not. Not a fortress. No. Anfield is not.
It's not like Real Madrid's gonna walk in there and feel alone. No, that's not gonna.
No, that's not. That's not this year. And if you guys do end up getting past Liverpool, remember your semifinal is against Porto and Chelsea, and I think that is a very winnable tie.
Yeah.
And considering that's the semifinal, not that you have a walk to the final, but like. I'm kind of now expecting to see Real Madrid in a Champions League final.
But again,
how it always works out.
But for Real Madrid to be in a final in a season where they didn't really add anybody, well, let's be honest here, not many big time clubs, got any, better by, paying for somebody because of COVID, right? But for them to once again reach that stage with the players that they have that are just getting older, that tells you that the system and the tactics just work.
Yeah.
And those are things that I think a lot of teams got to start looking at instead of spending 200 million euros on a youngster that then you're going to sit on the bench. Yeah, good luck with Atletico, Madrid. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. And I want to go on to this Man City Dortmund game. I don't want to go too long, but I expected, I said it on my show on Onside Radio. I was saying it on Twitter, whatever. I thought that City would steamroll Dortmund. Dortmund have not been good in Bundesliga. I believe that they're 7 points out of a Champions League spot at the moment. There's only 7 games left in Bundesliga. So that could be detrimental for the club, especially holding players like Royce. You still hold Haaland. You have Jude Bellingham who's up and coming. You have Giovanni Reina. You have all this young talent in which if you don't make a Champions League spot, you're probably going to have to move them because your club's financials are going to look really bad. And with that being the case, and with the league play and their form, I thought City were just going to steamroll them, and that just wasn't the case. City played better, yes, but this game should have ended 2-2. If you go back and you look at this disallowed goal from Jude Bellingham, I don't know if you've seen it yet, Manny, but
I'm Googling it right now.
Look at the clip.
Because your Twitter rant was quite impressive. That's why I was like, oh, what the heck happened here? Dortmund is 6, but I believe what I meant to say was they are 7 points out of the spot, not 7 places. They're 7 points out of a Champions League spot. I think they're 7 points out of top 4 in the Bundesliga right now. Unless that's what I had on Saturday anyway. But what I'm trying to get to is this disallowed goal. So Ederson gets a ball. He tries to bring it down. He tries to clear it. Bellingham's coming in, pressing, sticks his foot out, gets his foot to the ball. And Ederson's follow through hits Bellingham on the leg, and then Bellingham gets carded. Bellingham scores, of course, but the goal gets called back after he gets through. I am shocked that was not allowed.
It is the most shocking referee decision since probably Ronaldo's disallowed goal a couple weeks ago. I mean, terrible.
This guy says you're wrong. He says Dortmund's in 6. I don't know if that matters.
I think, yeah. They might be in 6, but they're 7 points away from top 4. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, wow. Terrible call. And I just the first goal.
I mean, in all honesty, though, Austin, I have Liverpool fans in my mentions telling me, "Oh, well, Keita got fouled outside the box." I'm like, "Well, look at Modric got hit in the back heel,
right?
The box." I mean, like, we can actually do this all freaking day.
Yeah.
But again, it's once again, right? You have replay for a reason. And once again, the replay is showing that the goal should have been allowed, but yet the refs have the power and can say, no, I see it different. And this is when the controversies comes up again. What's the point of this then?
VAR is available. In that situation, VAR is available, but the ref took it upon himself to take the moment and call the play before the ball hit the back of the net. That is bullcrap. That's bullcrap. And City are going to get through off of this. I'm glad Dortmund got the away goal. And I'm actually glad that Marco Reus is the one that scored it. It's nice to see him score. He's been through a ton of injuries with, Dortmund not playing for the German team at the World Cup a couple of years ago and all of these kinds of things. Like, it was really cool to see Reus score in this game. And you could see the passion when he did score. He was assisted by Haaland, who hasn't been on a scoring streak lately. Not sure what's going on there, but maybe he needs to move to Madrid really soon.
He's ready to move on.
But the last play, one of the last plays of the game was a 90th minute goal by Phil Foden and Kevin De Bruyne. But that ball from Toni Kroos was amazing today. And Kevin De Bruyne kind of just matched it up with this ball. Both of them are masterminds in the midfield. They are just pure class. And the ball from De Bruyne on the opposite side of the box, about 30 yards out, to find Gundogan on the far side at the back post, who lays it off with a good touch, finds Foden, who finishes it. I mean, fantastic goal, Pep Guardiola style goal. It was really good, but it was annoying that one, as a Man United fan, don't like to see Phil Foden or Man City score in general, but you have to give props. And it sucks for Dortmund that it was really late. And if this game would have ended 1-1, I would have liked their chances a lot more, but they do have the away goal. And the away goal is huge. It's huge in Liverpool's case as well. I mean, you would rather finish a game losing 3-1 than losing 2-0, correct? Because you want to get your away goal.
Correct.
You would rather finish this game, losing 2-1 than not scoring at all.
But I also think it hurts a team's, I guess, not a team spirit per se, but a team's momentum, right? When you go and you're down 2-0 heading into halftime, you come out in the first 10 minutes, you dominate, and by the 8th, 9th minute, you should be tied, and all of a sudden you let in one more goal. Now it's 3-1. So now in that particular situation, is like now you're feeling like, man, like now if it was extra hard to get just one score,
right?
But again, if they would have been able to get one more, I could probably say then going back to Liverpool
and dying down the last couple minutes of the game before I switched over to look at the oh my goodness, look at this guy. You bringing in your Madrid fans into the chat?
I don't even know who this guy is.
Okay, sure. Am I supposed to believe that? Okay, no, I'm kidding. No,
I don't know who this guy is, but I love. Hey, Haaland, let's go, buddy. Let's go. Mbappe, let's go. It's about time. It's about time that Madrid starts spending money. All right, we're not going to be paying 50 mil for Coutinho and 80-something million for a once a week player in what the hell is his name? He scored yesterday. By the way, Real, whatever the Real team that played Barcelona yesterday.
Oh, Valladolid, or
they got robbed. La Liga knows what they're doing. They want to make sure that Atletico, Real Madrid, and Barcelona, the top three, stay within range of each other. The last 2 weeks of the season, they know what they were doing. But
the whole time I was like, Atletico should have ran away with the league. I mean, they should still be up massive points. A long time ago, they had the league, and they've bottled points every single week since I've been saying that they're going to win the league. And now I think it's a 1-point cushion for Barcelona and a 3-point cushion for Real Madrid.
Yeah,
unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable. At least you're making Champions League.
I can't remember a Clasico of this magnitude, of such high risk.
Yeah,
maybe the Champions League semifinals with Mourinho, maybe.
Oh yeah.
That's about it. I mean, because the wins for Real Madrid against them haven't been, like in a crazy way, like messed up the standings per se.
Mm-hmm.
But I know the Barcelona one a couple of years back was very dreadful.
The only bad thing for Real Madrid, I just looked, they don't play Atletico anymore this season, but Barcelona do. They still have to play you, and they still have to play Atletico. So It's going to get crazy in La Liga. It's going to get crazy.
Bro, La Liga knows what they're doing, man. Look, in all honesty, I think the VAR only works for Real Madrid and Barcelona. That's it. In the entire world, I don't care what you tell me. VAR only exists to give Barcelona, Real Madrid penalties.
Well,
tell me I'm wrong.
It definitely does. Well, listen, United's gotten a lot of penalties off of VAR, so I got to. One time Bruno Fernandes got VAR to give him a penalty after the final whistle was blown, so I can't really complain. Okay, like the final whistle for the game was over, the game was done. They went to VAR, and then he got a penalty. So I'm not gonna say anything. I have no words, but it definitely doesn't work in Dortmund's favor. They have a lot of work to do going back to Germany. Have to limit the away goals for Man City, because your one away goal, yes, is good. But if City score twice in this game away from home, it's wraps, honestly. I mean, I don't know how many times Dortmund are going to score on that defense with Ruben Diaz, etc. It'll be tough. And then as for Real Madrid and Liverpool, they are probably headed to Anfield, in a place that is not a fortress anymore. Ooh, down 2 goals.
That's fired. Look at you.
Dude, I'm all over Liverpool, man. I'm tired of it. I'm so glad they're just
it's so funny. They had such a high for 2 consecutive years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, well, we're back to the 25 years of existence of being low again.
Yep.
It's hilarious.
Yep. It's like Daniel Sturridge or striker all over again or something like
Correct.
But with
we're gonna wrap up here and stuff. But I think tomorrow's game though, PSG and Bayern,
it's gonna be
I think that one right there cannot end 0-0 for PSG. No. I think PSG have to go out there with that mentality of trying to get one or two. Because I think Bayern's streaky. Bayern can't score goals.
No Lewandowski.
No Lewandowski. That is correct. And he's the man that we've known that, in what is it, in 8 minutes, he can score 4 goals. Or 9 goals in 4 minutes. So they don't have that. But I think it's time for listen, we've seen Mbappe do great things already, but I think it's about time that he, pushes his team to another final and win it. Because that's the only thing missing in his whole resume.
Neymar's got to help too. Honestly, I mean, Neymar.
That's the thing. I don't trust Neymar anymore. I don't.
We can have a debate after.
I don't even trust Icardi anymore. But
I don't trust. No. Don't give me that Icardi bull crap. But then you also have Porto and Chelsea. I've been saying it's a game to look out for. I think Porto can give Chelsea a run for their money.
I think Chelsea's going to get surprised.
Chelsea looks terrible. Terrible against West Brom.
The way that Porto does everything small, correct? They possess it. They're physical. They don't give up a lot of space, right? And Chelsea likes to widen and out, have those creative plays. But throughout 2 games against Porto in 180 minutes, to me, it's going to be if they want to win it, they have to make sure they capitalize on set pieces. I don't see Chelsea scoring easy goals here.
Don't think so either. I totally agree. It's going to be a good one. We might have a show tomorrow. It depends on what's going on. We'll see what we can do.
If Bayern loses 5-0 and if Kai's up to it, hey, let's do it.
Yeah, he won't be up to it if they lose 5-0. Let me tell you. All right. Well, we will see you guys hopefully tomorrow, if not some other time throughout the week. And that's it from me, man. You got anything else to go add?
Madrid.
Sure. Whatever you say. GGMU. See you guys
later.